We want to thank our outstanding sponsor, Touring & Cruises Travel. It's the same team as Touring Plans Travel, but with a new name. Their travel advisors will take care of your Disney or other travel destination needs. Make sure you tell them Rope Drop Radio sent you. Now, on to the show.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to another Rope Drop Radio. Derek and Doug talking all things Disney. And Doug, we are back this week playing a little this or that.
Yes, it's a fun thing. We like to do it.
It is. And I had to play a little this or that this last week, Doug, because Derek just booked another trip to Walt Disney World.
Did you?
I did.
When and where?
I will be there March 10th through the 16th for our spring break, and we will be staying at the Grand Floridian. Doug, we're doing it. We're pulling the trigger.
Yeah,
Finally. It's been number one on my list. I haven't got it done. I don't know if we fit the vibe there. We're just going to get it checked off, though.
You are the vibe.
I am the vibe. I'm going to bring a vibe. That's for sure. Rope Drop Radio stickers on everything.
Maybe don't wear the logo.
Oh, lots of logo. I'll bring the polo. That's for sure.
The polo. We need to get you a nice button down.
Okay. There we go. And some slacks.
Fit the vibe of Grand Flow.
There we go. Getting it off the list. I'm excited. So if you're going for spring break, let me know and we can meet up.
So then you'll have all the monorail resorts done, my friend.
Bay Lake Tower, I still got to get to. Even though it is. I know it's contemporary. I've been to, but I need to get to Bay Lake Tower. So yeah, it's going to be a good one. And what about our trip, Doug?
Well, we got a trip coming up in April, the springtime surprise with Run Disney. April 3rd through the 6th, we'll be there. I plan on running the 10-miler. That's the plan. I still have to register. Registration, I believe, is the 27th of August at 10 a.m. Eastern. So, 27th of August, 10 a.m. Eastern. Get on there, get registered. It will sell out likely within minutes because that's what Disney does for fun, just torture us with queues and countdowns and registering. But if I get registered, I'll be running. If I don't get registered, I'm sure I'll be there cheering. Okay. But
I want you to get registered, Doug. You got to run for the both of us.
I have some people that are supposedly helping me register. I don't know. There's a lot of things. I did not know the subculture of Run Disney registering was so intense. I am more nervous now for registering than I am about running 10 miles. And I can't run 10 miles at the moment. But, the balloon ladies are nice.
You got time. You got time to train. You first get registered, then train.
Book your trip through Touring & Cruises, and I think the plan is to hook you up with a Rope Drop Radio Running Club shirt that has yet to be designed or made, of course. So I'm making very possible empty promises, but that's the plan.
These are real promises. Let us know that you're going to run or come down.
Yeah, book through Touring & Cruises. You'll get a shirt. So there you go.
Can I get a shirt? Can I get a shirt even though I'm not running?
Yeah, the running club could be to the fridge. I don't care.
Okay.
You don't have to run to be in our running club. My gosh.
Oh, I love it. If you want to, there you go. So thank you guys so much who are going to be signing up. Let us know. Send us a message at Rope Drop Radio. Hopefully some of our Patreons sign up. I know a few of them are interested. And speaking of Patreon, Kristen Reimers upgraded her Patreon membership. So thank you so much you're now getting Zoom conversations with us. So once a month, Doug and I do a Zoom call with our Patreons of a certain level. And if you'd like to hang out with us on Zoom, it's riveting. And we do that. And you can go into our show notes, click the Patreon link, and see all the levels that you can be a part of.
Yes, and they're creatively named. If nothing else, go look at the name of them.
Good names. There you go.
All right. Another great way to support the show is to share the show with friends and family. Take your favorite episode, put it on your social media. We would love you for that. Also, you can leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star review. We will read it on air eventually. All right. Here is this week's reviews. Here for the long haul, 5 stars by Prima Donna 2828. Or 2828. I mean, many ways to say that, right? I started to listen to this podcast in preparation for my first Disney World trip, and I figured I'd unsubscribe after the trip. But it's been 1.5 years, and I'm still listening. These guys are fun, funny, relatable, and knowledgeable. I love their approach and I love how their tips, tricks, and advice are for all of us normal Disney adults and families. I especially love the lightning round. Also, my husband is a Disney loving dentist, so that's fun too. Thanks, Derek and Doug, for having fun reading this in a year. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. We got to it faster than a year.
I'm glad,
That
but
was,
still, we
yeah,
never want to
they
catch up.
called me out on the how long it takes to read the reviews. So this was from March 30th
Oh,
of this year.
there you go.
But in their defense, I did start reading 2 an episode. Otherwise, it probably would have been about a year. Yeah.
Okay.
So another one because we're doing 2 an episode. But yes, thank you for that great review, Prima Donna. All right. This one is excellent and hilarious Disney podcast, 5 stars by Caitlin412. I listen to a lot of Disney podcasts, and this one is by far the most hilarious. Derek and Doug's humor is right up my sarcastic alley. Not only do I constantly laugh out loud, but I also learn a lot of new things that help with my trips and keep me in the magic in between trips. The best part is waiting through each show to hear how they'll incorporate might be right though, incorporate pizza rizzos and or a trumpet squid. Definitely give this show a follow. You won't regret it. There we go.
Oh, I
That's our
love it. Thank
reviews.
you so much.
Fantastic
That's a
ones.
good one. So, hey, she already said in the review trumpet squid and pizza rizzos. And so
0
we don't have
days.
to this week.
The
Got it. No, check it off. Got it. Bingo.
Chalkboard
All
back
right.
to 0 shows without pizza rizzo.
Sounds
Now we're
good.
just missing one thing on the imaginary chalkboard, Derek.
We'll see. We'll see if it pops up sometime in
know.
here. So, this week we're going to have some fun with this or that. And to get additional opinion on this or that, we have a guest. And let's welcome the owner and operator of Vacation Patches. All kinds of great theme park inspired merch and your next trip to the parks. Also recently dropped a very cool product. So let's hear it for Steven. Welcome to Rope Drop Radio.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, thank you so much for being on. So why don't you give the rope droppers a little bit of your background on this apparel business that you have?
Yeah, appreciate it. So, true story, years ago, my wife and I, we booked Disney trips. And I don't know about you gentlemen, but when you go on these Disney trips, the conversation comes up of like, hey, let's match, let's wear stuff together. Let's do some themes, right? And so I've always been a hat guy. My grandfather was a hat guy. He has, I think before he passed, he had a room full of hats from every sort of trip he went on. So I've always had a hat. And we were getting ready for a trip and we were kind of looking for like, what should I wear? Like, what should I like bring to the park? And I started doing the typical search, right? You go on Amazon, you go on Disney's website, you go all these places. And none of the hats I liked. Like, I just straight up was like, these are too busy. Like, they're just so like in your face Disney and cheesy. And like, I'm definitely a Disney guy. My wife and I love it. We're season ticket holders and we love it. But I was just like, nothing's really like connecting with me. So I know a little graphic design work. And so I was waiting for jury duty to start. I was in the nice little waiting room waiting to get
One does.
yeah, as one does.
Got it.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there at jury duty wanting to just get out of there. And we're weeks before the trip. So I was like, you know what? What if I just design my own hat? Like, I've never done that before. So I went on my phone and just started sketching out a design. And it was like a really simple Mickey design. And I was like, this is kind of cool. I would wear this. So I ordered a patch and tried it out and put it on a hat. And I was like, this is actually really cool looking. Like, I would actually wear this to the park. So we wore it on a trip and people were like, hey, where'd you get the hat? And I was like, I made it. And they're like, no way, get out of here. So people would ask me about it at the park. And I was like, this is interesting. So my wife's like, let's order a bunch of patches, throw them up on Etsy and see what people say. And so here we are. We're like making patches, and each month started just designing different stuff, like different themed hats, patches, things that I think resonated with people that wanted like simple Disney or wanted like something simple to wear to the parks, especially for the guys that weren't so, like I said, in your face or busy. And so we just started noticing this little group of people buying our stuff that they were like, this speaks to us. Like, this is what my husband actually will wear this hat now. Or I wanted to do this theme and now my family's all matching in hats. So it was really cool just trying it out. So here we are. Fast forward, we just now we've kind of upped our game in a way where we sew on all of our patches. All of our patches are made designed by us, and we have we have a series of patches, a series of hats. They're all really high quality hats. Like I said, I'm a hat guy, so I don't want the cheesy cheap stuff. I have to like believe in it, right? So we test something out. We go to the parks. I wear it. I try it out. I see, hey, is this something that I would love and wear? And I do that first. And now we operate our company Vacation Patches, where we make primarily Disney themed hats and things like that. So it's kind of how it got started. And one other thing I'll share is we were in line once and we were testing out a hat style, and we were in line for cars, and he was like, "Hey, where'd you get the hat?" And I was like, "Oh, we sell them." And he's like, "Give me your website." So in line, he ordered
That's how you got
hats.
to do it. Talk to everyone in
Nice.
line. Yep.
Yeah, he ordered hats from us in line, and like it was super cool. I was like, "We don't even have these on store yet. We're just testing them." He's like, "I'll buy like 5 of them right now. I love it." So it was one of the coolest things. And then now seeing people in the parks with their hats, like I don't know, it's humbling. I'm taken aback. It's really actually kind of cool.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. And actually, you have a new patch that kind of piqued our interest. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, yeah. I'm wearing it right now. I know that your listeners can't see through the screen, but
You
I'm
know.
wearing it now. It's one of my favorite. It's kind of inspired by like a fire department, almost kind of like a support your local fire department vibe. But basically, it says rope drop crew on it, so it's inspired by that idea that we as a family love rope dropping. So we love getting to the parks early. We're definitely rope drop crew family here. And so, again, it was inspired by us at rope drop. I'm sitting there and I'm looking around and I'm like, there's like this whole crew of people that just rope drop. Like if
Mhm.
you know what rope dropping is, that's your thing, right? And so we were like, what if we design a rope drop hat? So we just came out with our rope drop crew hat. It's a patch. We have stickers. We have shirts. And this one I'm wearing, it's like a Loden green color with like a rope over it, double rope, and then the rope patch on it. And so we launched it last week, and we've had some pretty good interest in it. It's really cool to see people wearing it already. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
That it speaks volumes to our core group here of rope
yeah,
droppers.
yeah. I would imagine it tracks
Everyone who
well.
listens to the show is a part of a rope drop crew. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
Right?
yeah, yeah. So I was like, hey, when I saw we're doing research on like how can we reach people that are rope drop people, and we found your podcast, and I would have to agree with your reviews. By the way, you two are hysterical.
Well,
I listened
Our wives
earlier.
would disagree
yeah, we
completely,
Well,
but I'm
have
glad you
opposite.
think so and
yeah,
some other people think
yeah.
so.
Yeah, I've listened to podcasts. Obviously, I was on a few buddies' podcasts back in the day when they were trying it, and it's an art. I don't think people respect it enough, and the banter you all have and the way you talk about Disney is just really fun and engaging. So
Oh, thank you.
I'm not
Thank
trying to
you.
flatter you. I'm just
Well,
Oh
being
it
no,
real.
dude,
works.
keep
Yeah,
Keep
no,
going.
going.
no.
And
I'm already on the
Yes.
show, so
All right. Come back anytime.
yeah, yeah.
and then you have a special discount for our listeners.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. So we thought let's give a discount for just your subscribers. So, Rope Drop Crew, toss that in your uh, Rope Drop Radio is what we did. I'm sorry, Rope Drop Crew is my hat. Rope Drop Radio is your code.
Yeah.
So yeah, throw in Rope Drop Radio at checkout, and you'll get a discount on your order. And that's on top of other discounts if we run them. So we don't exclude discounts just because of other discounts. So it's kind of an extra perk for your listeners. But yeah, Rope Drop Radio, head over, put it in the checkout, and you'll get a discount.
Yeah, we'll have
Awesome. Love
all
it.
the
Thank you.
links in
Yep, we'll
the
put that in the show notes for sure and on social media.
Yeah.
We got to get to the game, Doug.
Yes. All right. It's time for some this or that, which we each take a stance. You have to pick one. You may not want to pick one, but you have to. I don't think any of these are like evil, like you're having to pick something bad today. Sometimes I do that, but we're just going to go around. We'll start with Steven. Derek and I will each pick something. Now, of course, the first one I did not too long ago, but I think it's a great.
Episode 414 for the record.
Yes. So I think it's a great list.
Didn't even go 20 weeks, Doug.
No, I didn't. Like it's the litmus test for people that haven't stayed at one of these two resorts. I find it's a fascinating comparison between So, Steven, Wilderness Lodge or Animal Kingdom Lodge?
Gosh, that's
That's
tough.
why I ask it.
Well, you're firing off tough questions to start with.
I
Just
know.
want to put that out there.
Yeah. All downhill from here, though.
Okay, so I would have to probably say this is my take on it. I think seeing animals out your window is probably one of the coolest things you could probably do at a resort. Like when we went to Disney World and my wife was giving me all the hotel options, that's the one that I was like, oh, animals, huh? Right outside your window, you can see some animals. Like, I don't know. I know that like you could get a better room or like the interior could look better maybe at another resort, but like I think I'm gonna go with animal, just to see that. I think that would be pretty cool. I know there's like a lot of mixed opinions on that, but for me at least, being in a hotel room, like I would much rather go out and do and enjoy than necessarily what the room itself looks like. I don't know if that's against popular opinion,
No,
but I think like being able to just stand out on your balcony and watch like a giraffe walk by, like I mean, where else are you going to do that? The U.S.
not many places. That's a solid answer. I can't really poke any holes in that. Can you, Derek?
No, I can't. I've stayed at both. I love both. And yeah, Animal Kingdom, you're drinking coffee with a giraffe every morning. It's great.
Yeah, I think the only thing is it depends on what kind of trip you want to have. I think
That's true.
if you're going to do a lot of Magic Kingdom, then Wilderness Lodge beats it out because it's like a 30-minute commute from Animal Kingdom Lodge over to the Magic Kingdom. But
Yeah,
that's about the only drawback is its location. But it does kind of have to be located far away to have giraffes wandering around, right? Like,
Yep.
yeah, solid answer. A plus. Not that we're grading or scoring, but that's later in the show where
sweet.
we score it. Derek, all right, so not going to ask you that question because we've done it. We've
Yep.
been over that one. We've beaten that horse. So resort wise for you, this
Ooh.
is a oldie kind of okay. So Coronado Springs, not Destino Tower. You're
Okay.
staying in the cheaper
Got it.
rooms, just regular Coronado Springs,
Hmm.
or Port Orleans Riverside.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Ooh,
I
and
know.
not preferred rooms, just
Nope.
standard room.
I'm gonna go with Coronado. I like the pool just a little bit more. It's got the convention area, and I feel like the food options are just a pinch better, especially at the quick service.
Okay.
And it's got a couple of nice bars as well that because it's got the convention space.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a solid answer. Do you know much about the Coronado versus Riverside, Stephen?
I have heard of them.
Okay.
Um,
Don't worry.
that's
Don't
about as
worry.
far deep
Yeah.
in that as I'm
So
gonna go.
I'm gonna go Riverside because of nostalgia.
Oh
I
yeah.
think I think it I am to an age now where
Hmm.
I'm gonna go to Riverside. I'm gonna remember some of our first trips with the kids, and that's gonna bring like we had on Ryan Wiley the other week, right? And when he was working as a lifeguard there, we stayed there, and then like when his shift was over, so I think I'm staying at Riverside for nostalgia.
Hmm.
I am getting old, Derek.
You are.
I just
You
picked
are
based
old.
on nostalgia.
Wow. That's in Inside Out 3. That's when nostalgia's coming.
Yeah,
Okay.
gets out of that room, the old
Yep.
granny. Okay, that's all you got to pick on me for picking on nostalgia. All right, all right.
No,
I'll
I
take it.
don't. It's good. We have a lot of questions,
We
so
do. All right. We're going to move to Hollywood Studios, a little bit of food. Docking Bay 7,
Hmm.
which is the Star Wars restaurant, for those that don't know the name of it, the counter service, or ABC Commissary.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go convenience on the ABC commissary one. I think that like when you look at the menu, like okay, first of all, I just want to say I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so there's no knock to Star Wars. I think what they do is top notch. But I would have to say ABC. I just think like the options are a little bit more universal for the family. I think that like it's easy, the price point's good, the flavor profile's fine. Like I would probably lean on that more so looking at it from like a family mobile perspective, like moving around the parks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love the whole idea of like a more immersive experience and all of that stuff. So my answer is simply based off of convenience. Like, you know what you're getting and it like can kind of appease the palates of like multiple people in your party, if that makes sense. So that would be my choice.
All right. I like it.
Nope, I'm going the other way. Docking Bay 7. I am a Star Wars fanatic and true one. Docking Bay 7 is probably top 3, if not close to number 1, that I've eaten at in all of Walt Disney World for
For
counter
counter
service.
service. Okay.
For
Just
counter service,
clarifying
yes.
counter service.
Though I do gotta say, if get rid of the Magic Kingdom, the 2 at the Magic Kingdom I go to. Outside of that, but no, I love the food there. I love the ambiance. I think it's a lot of fun. My favorite is taking someone who's never been.
Mm,
Like that is my favorite restaurant to see them looking around to what is Bantha? What is Tip Yip? You know, that
Mhm.
it's great. And so that's what I really love about that restaurant.
Yeah. I'm not shocked by your answer at all, sir.
No.
I am just surprised you didn't mention something else, and I will mention it. The only time I eat at Docking Bay 7 is when I'm on the dining plan or I'm staying at the Star Cruiser.
Oh, there we go.
So,
Bingo.
yeah, it's all zeroed out on the chalkboards now. So the Star Cruiser was like the dining plan, right? You got to eat there, it was included. So I could go have my $30 counter service meal. So I'm going to pick ABC Commissary because it lives in reality when it comes to prices.
Okay.
And the grilled cheese there is phenomenal.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Derek
Good
can't
word.
have that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you. I worked in all the words there for you, Derek. The stuff you like to say.
Yeah, you just took you just reworded what I say for your own answer.
Yep. I used all of it. Star Cruiser, phenomenal, all the things. All right. Let's move on. Skyliner or the bus? A lot to factor in here. The bus can get you everywhere, but the Skyliner is the Skyliner.
I have to go Skyliner. I mean, how cool is the Skyliner? Like, yeah, I agree with you. Like, the buses are fantastic for getting you around. So there's obviously that, right? You have the practicality side of the buses. Like, who can ignore that? But the Skyliner is just so cool. Like, I wish Disneyland. I know this is a Disney World focused podcast, but like, I wish Disneyland would bring that. And I remember the buckets as a kid, and I remember just
Mhm.
soaring over the sky. And so, like, I don't know, it's just such a cool experience to be on the Skyliner. So like, why wouldn't you vote that just for like the coolness factor outside of the
Right.
practicality factor? So that would be my vote, Skyliner.
Imagine if they put a Skyliner station like smack dab in the middle of the Disneyland resort somehow, like the hotel,
Yeah.
like right there by the pool. Hop on there all the way right to the
That'd be
park.
awesome.
That would be that'd be fantastic. It would.
It would
The
be.
businesses in downtown Disney would get a little grumpy, but
They would. Yeah, you need to walk by that. So I agree. My favorite resort is the Riviera. Why is it my favorite resort? Because the Skyliner station's right there. It is
Mhm.
truly a first ride experience for the family of the day. And also, Disney did a great job incorporating the Skyliner into value, moderate, and deluxe resorts, which I
Mhm.
really like that they did that. I just wanted to do more.
Mm.
Yeah, more Skyliner. This is going to be a 3 for 3 here on Skyliner. I'm going that route as well. Just the fact that I'll have a rental car, and when I'm staying at a Skyliner resort and I'm going to a Skyliner park, I don't debate whether I'm going to take the Skyliner or drive. But when I'm going to a resort that's only serviced by the buses, I debate whether I should drive or not. So I
Mhm.
think that answers the question, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All
Solid.
right. Next up, this is one that my wife and I argue about all the time. Flight of Passage or Rise of the Resistance.
I'm gonna go Rise of the Resistance. Like, okay, Flight of Passage technology is pretty awesome when you like click into that thing and you're soaring, like, and you're flying through all the
Mm-hmm.
different. I mean, the technology is awesome, and like honestly, like the walk up. I'm like counteracting my own argument here. This is so crazy, but like the walk up to the ride is like really, really well done. But Rise of the Resistance is just next level for me. I'm more of a Star Wars fan than I am Avatar, and that's no knock to Avatar fans, but I just love Star Wars, and so I would even say at the Disneyland Resort, Rise is my favorite ride so far. I mean, in terms of new stuff, it's just the technology is so cool, like the way that the cars move on the magnets and just the different elements and the features. I just don't know how you beat that.
I'm gonna go with Rise as well
Oh,
as it's a full hold
oh,
on. I will give
oh.
my caveat with there.
Okay,
It
all
is a
right.
full immersive experience. Like it is queue attraction, like it is nonstop for 20, 30 minutes. And it's Star Wars. when it is in B and C mode, that's when I get some shots thrown at me, and then I will slowly bring Flight of Passage back in there. But
Mm.
I will tell you, riding them both for the first time ever, Flight of Passage had the better wow moment after I got off that one. I was like, "Oh, wow, what did I just experience?"
Interesting.
So, it
You
it
had
was.
you had your wow moment when it locked you in there.
Oh my
The
oh, yeah,
seat,
that was true, yes, and C because I was with
because
Doug.
we went on Rise of the Resistance, or a Flight of Passage, sorry, when it was brand new, like
Oh,
week
okay.
old,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So all of the bells and whistles were still working in the seat. They toned down the seat vibration. Let's just say that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
So you
Uh,
really felt
oh
I
yeah.
did.
it. Still feeling it.
Um, so all right, yeah. I thought you'd pick Flight of Passage, Derek, when I wrote this one. So
Nope, Star
throw a
Wars
wrench
fan,
at me.
yeah.
Are you though? Yeah, okay, you are. But Star Wars fan, I'm going with Rise of the Resistance. No question about it. It's got everything you could ever want. My favorite thing with Rise of the Resistance now is when we get in a vehicle with people that have never ridden it, and you get
Hmm.
to witness their joy and their surprise. Like when the light spoiler, okay, spoiler, that when the lightsaber comes through the ceiling of the elevator and people like freak out. Like that was the first time I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? This is the greatest day of my life, even though it was not. But yeah, there you go. Rise of the Resistance.
That technology is so cool too. I know it's just simple, but like the lightsaber thing, like every time I go on it, I'm like staring at it. Like how did they
Yeah,
figure that out?
I don't know. The
No.
magic of Star Wars and Imagineering. If only they put all the Star Wars stuff they knew into one hotel and then you could go like live it.
Yeah, that'd be
Right,
amazing.
Derek?
Love that
Yeah.
idea.
Sorry. I'm just trying to beat the Star Cruiser horse because I know Derek's sad nothing got mentioned at
I
it
am
about D23 still. So I'm just kind of consoling.
2 years away.
I think you're still optimistic on that, buddy. All right. This next one is definitely a fun one. Magic Carpets of Aladdin or Triceratops Spin.
Can I say neither? Is that an
Nope.
answer?
You
Is that
gotta pick
allowed?
Yep,
one.
Oh
yep.
You gotta
gosh.
pick one.
I'll say this. I don't like spinning things like that. I just feel like that's a lot. It's intense. So I think by sheer fandom of like growing up and speaking of nostalgia, I'd probably go Aladdin. And I think Aladdin. I think I'm edging towards Aladdin for
Yeah,
nostalgia.
that makes sense. Nostalgia.
Okay.
I think,
Yeah.
Derek, our answer is going to be different, but it's because of nostalgia too.
Well, I'm doing Triceratops spin all
Yeah.
day. I have one time, and I no joke, went to Animal Kingdom, rode Triceratops spin, and left. That was it. I did one ride, and it was
Mm,
Tricer. That's the ride I had
Yeah.
time for one ride, and that's the ride I picked. At this point, it's just been more fun to ride, put on social media,
It's a
and
thing.
all the commenting, and also RIP since it is going
I
away. I
know.
hope it gets reskinned and somewhere else.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
Triceratops spin,
I,
guys.
I hope it's still there in April when we're there so we get one
Mm.
last ride, Derek.
Oh, we need that together.
We need that. It's a closure. We
One last
didn't,
hurrah.
we didn't, oh, rest in peace, Triceratops Spin. It's a rope drop radio attraction for sure. Without our interactions on rope drop radio, I'm not sure that we pick Triceratops Spin for anything, but it is a rope drop attraction for us. All right, the next one is a big one. Cars Land, whatever iteration you want to imagine, or Rivers of America. Oh, weigh in on this one, Stephen.
I'm gonna say Cars Land, and really the basis of that is they do cars so good. Like Disney
Mhm.
just nails it. Like if you step on foot on anything Cars, it just feels like you're there. It's just like the movie actually comes to life. And so like I don't know how you beat that immersive experience outside of Cars Land. It's just so cool. Like actually, spoiler alert, we're designing a hat themed around cars and Radiator Springs and that kind of vibe because I just think they just crush it. And so it's just wonderful. So that would be my vote. That's my vote.
I agree. Cards Land all the way. It's time, guys. Sorry, Tom Sawyer Island lovers. We need some capacity and some e-ticket attractions. So I am glad Cars Land is coming to the Magic Kingdom, and I
Yeah.
stand by it.
Yeah.
Derek, how many listeners do you think we lost last week when we talked about this on the D23 wrap up?
The question is, how many of those listeners have actually been to Tom Sawyer's Island in the last 5 years?
Oh, minimal.
Yep.
There's there's a reason it closes. If you love it so much, you gotta go, and you gotta
Yep.
convince your friends to go, and your friends' friends to go. Um, but yeah, Cars Land, they like you said, Steven, they get it right, and I hope they don't try to get too fancy. I just want
Yeah.
them to do right by it
Yep.
in the Magic Kingdom. But if you've never been to Disneyland and California Adventure, now is a
Oh, at
great
night.
time to go.
Nighttime.
And because don't wait for all this D23 stuff that was announced, because like you could, you know, you grandchildren could arrive and take you by the time. But it, just go. Cars Land at night is
It's
so
amazing.
special,
Yeah.
and it then when you come back to Disney World, you
Hmm.
kind of get angry about kind of the half baked ideas that you see. Like Toy Story Land at Hollywood Studios is neat,
Hmm.
right? It's
Hmm.
neat.
Yep.
It's not amazing.
No.
It's not really well done. It's neat, I
Yep.
think is the right term.
Yeah.
After you see what they did with Cars, there's no reason they couldn't have built a giant wall as a fence. Like they could have done that, but they didn't do that all the way around. They didn't box in the backyard. They didn't. They chose not to, right? But they did it right with Cars Land. So
100%.
anyway, that's just one example that I can think of right off the top of my head is where they, and with Monstropolis and the other things that they say they're gonna do. I hope they don't go the Toy Story Land version
Mm,
versus the Cars Land version.
it's a great point.
Okay. Soapbox, I'll put that aside. All right. I said there wasn't one that was like both things are horrible. I lied. I did put one of those in there, and that's the next one. And it's the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival. For those that don't know, that is located in Epcot in the Imagination Pavilion. Don't go to it. All right. Or Vacation Fun. This is the Mickey and Minnie shorts located in Hollywood Studios, kind of across from Indiana Jones. So, if you have to pick one of these two things, which one is it, Steven?
I would probably say Mickey and Minnie, the OGs. I think that they deserve that. Like you said, going over to Epcot for the other, I would be lying if I said we went there and saw it or even tried to go in and want to see that. But I would stop and pause for a Mickey, um, you know, Mickey nostalgia again. So I would go that, but that's just me.
I agree. I've only been to one of these two things, and there's a reason why. And I prefer Vacation Fun because it's in
Hmm.
Hollywood Studios, and there's
Mhm.
not too much to do. And I'm not going to walk all the way to one side of Epcot to just watch some short films.
What if you were right there?
What, like riding Figment? No.
No. Okay.
Are there free
Yeah.
drinks?
No.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really, there could be. So, really, the best thing about both of these is the air conditioning.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
one is entirely available on YouTube, but you have to piece it together yourself. That's the shorts; they're all on there, or on Disney Plus. Vacation Fun. There are some parts of it you can't find on Disney Plus or YouTube. So I will say that's about the only difference. So I'll go Vacation Fun. So that got a sweep of Misery. Don't go though if you have anything better to do with your time, like eating a snack out in the sun is better than going to the Vacation Fun. That's watching your Mickey bar melt in Florida
Hmm.
is a
Yep.
better use of your time. I think I
Hmm.
summed that up, Derek. Do you
You
feel the
got it.
same?
Nailed it.
Yeah, it's not good. Okay, moving on. Thunder Mountain or Space Mountain?
100% Thunder Mountain. When you when you ride Space Mountain at like Disneyland Resort in California,
Mm-hmm.
track smoothish. You can get out of there as a 30 something, 40 something year old person and not feel like your bones were rearranged. And then you go to Space Mountain in Disney World and you realize, wow, this is completely different. I need to see a chiropractor. I don't know if I want to go on this ever again. Like we walked off that and I felt like, well, if this was my first experience with the Space Mountain and someone said, "Hey, we're going to Disneyland. Let's go to Space Mountain," I wouldn't ride it. I would miss out on what Space Mountain really could be and should be.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Thunder is just so fun. Like railroad in a mountain. Come on, like that's just a fun. It's a fun vibe. So I'm gonna go Big Thunder. I'm gonna go Thunder Mountain over Space.
All right, that's a good answer, Derek.
If we ever would get Hyperspace Mountain, I
Oh,
would choose that 10 times out of 10, but we don't.
they're
And
not
it
fair to
and it
Florida.
bugs me. No, not at all.
Not fair to Florida.
And so I'm going to take Big Thunder. And I know this one has switched over the years. I agree. It is hurting my back at an older age. And so I really like Big Thunder. And ever since I did Big Thunder during fireworks, that gave it the bonus points it needs to put it over.
Nice. All right, I'm going Space Mountain as somebody that can't ride either.
No,
Derek was with me the last time I rode Space Mountain, I think.
we have a show. I
Yeah.
can't remember. Just
Oh,
type in Space Mountain Rope Drop Radio, Doug
it's
riding it. It's
bad.
a bonus episode. It's great.
It's basically
My
me
favorite
just trying
episode of
not
all
to throw
time.
up. Oh, you just giggled the
I
whole
did.
time. It wasn't very nice. Anywho, so when
I'm gonna
like
listen that to go to bed tonight.
there
Thank
you
you.
go. That will give you nightmares. So when my family goes on Thunder Mountain, they expect me to stand there in the blazing sun and take a picture when they go by in the one spot. There's no
Mhm.
shade. It's uncomfortable. There's other people trying to do the same thing, but they don't know when their family's actually coming. So they stand there for like 10 trains. But I know I've done it enough. I know. So that's work. And when my family goes on things I can't go on, I'd rather just like do what I want to do. So I prefer Space Mountain because I get the time to myself. Yeah. So this is a selfish answer.
I see what you
But
did there. I see
yeah.
what you did there.
So I'm going Space Mountain because I don't go on either, but I'd rather have my family go on Space Mountain than Thunder Mountain because Thunder Mountain I get sunburnt just standing there. Okay, we'll move on. The next one's a good one. Mickey Bar or Mickey Ice Cream Sandwich, the cookies and cream ice cream sandwich.
How do you beat a cookies and cream ice cream sandwich? That's
I
the
don't
winner
know.
right there. Like, love the Mickey stuff, love the ears, but ice cream sandwich all the way.
All right, Derek.
I haven't eaten either of these in many, many, many lactose intolerant years, but I do choose the Mickey bar. I will take a niblet of one of my kids'
Like as a dad tax.
dad tax and nostalgia, Doug. It's a
Nostalgia.
nostalgia from when I was a kid.
When you could eat them.
Yes, and not
Oh.
die.
Okay. So I go the ice cream sandwich. I'm much more a fan of the old cookies and cream. It's so good. It's so creamy, Derek. You would not like it at all.
Nope, not at all.
No. All right. So that was a good one. All right. Last but not least, rope drop or park close. Figured it was fitting with the hat today.
Gosh, shameless plug rope drop. But I park close is great too. One of my biggest memories, best memories, is with my family, and we were like, let's stay all the way. And my son was younger, and we just hung on and stayed all the way till close. Got one more ride in, and it was just a fun experience. So like going back to the theme of tonight is nostalgia. Apparently, going back to that, like that was a cool experience. But I would say we rope drop more than that. So my default answer would have to be rope drop.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Derek?
It's rope drop radio, so legally I have to say rope drop. So, and I'm a morning person, and I've been doing it for.
You are a morning person. You don't even set an alarm.
I know.
just
I'm a rope dropper. Just up, go. And I do like meeting people at rope drop, especially our listeners and Patreons and fans, and introducing people to new stuff. So, yeah, rope drop's the place to be.
Yeah, I've slowly morphed into our family has into a park close sort of situation. We're not big fireworks people, but we do like to shut it down. But yeah, it's rope drop radio, so the lawyers are gonna have a field day if I don't say rope drop. But we still rope drop. I guess it would be we nap, so we're both.
Oh no, rope drop to park close, no nap. That's how you do it.
I'm a napper.
Separates
so.
the children from the Disney adults.
So the Disney adults nap?
I have
the
no
kids
idea.
Nap? I'm not sure. I can't
I'm-
follow the logic, but I get it. Yeah. So I'll say rope drop, even though I'd rather park close and then sleep in. But that doesn't happen because it's a trip, not a vacation.
Correct.
There's a hat idea for you too. It's a trip, not a vacation.
Giving me
So-
ideas.
Yeah. So there we go. That's it for this or that. I think we did it. I think we did that. Yeah. All right. And now it's time for the lightning round. Congratulations, Steven. You have made it to the lightning round where the
Sweet.
the answers are all your favorite things from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, whatever it needs to be under the Disney umbrella. We do score it, but the points are made up and they do not matter. All right.
Sweet.
Are you ready?
Never been more ready. Prepared my whole life for this moment.
All right. Favorite Disney movie?
Childhood favorite movie, got me into Disney. Love it. Peter Pan.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay. Classic.
Haven't watched that one
Yeah,
in a
you
while.
don't have to go with nostalgia. You can go with right now.
I know
Just
my
'cause-
mindset is focused so much on that. I need to shake it
All
off.
right.
I'll
yeah,
get there. I'll get there.
I'm in a nostalgic state because we took our oldest to college and
Mhm.
left them there and drove away from a child.
On
So
purpose.
I'm broken right now.
One
so-
down, 2 to go, Doug. Come on, you can get
See,
this.
when I had kids your ages, Derek, that's how I would have been like,
Yeah,
woo, one
rolling
third done.
stop.
But now it's like, oh, we're a third done. Okay. Anyway, so let's move on. Favorite Disney character?
Honestly, I think Indiana Jones is pretty cool.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
Nice.
Good
All
choice.
right.
Thanks.
He's getting a land. So
Yeah, he deserves it.
yeah, he does. All right. Favorite Disney villain?
Maleficent, she's just like an OG Ruthless in a way. But
Yeah.
also, can I throw in another one?
Yes.
I kind of think Jafar is up there in a way for me, and Scar from Lion King.
Nice. It's a good
All right.
trio.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's all, almost like they're going to get their own land too.
Maybe.
maybe.
We'll see.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite Disney song?
We went on the Frozen ride in Disney World, and Let It Go is just, or something from Encanto of late. Gosh, now that I'm saying that, I changed my mind. I would probably now change it actually to a Moana song. What's the name of the song? The one with the rock that he primarily sings?
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, when you
You're
sign
welcome.
with a bird, it's called a tweet.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep.
Favorite Disney park? Any of the parks around the world?
I'm a sucker for Disneyland. OG California Disneyland. That's my favorite park. Pirates was one of my favorite rides growing up, and taking my son there and seeing it through his eyes. We definitely want to do more Disney World, but I would have to say Disneyland for sure.
All right. Favorite classic attraction? You define classic.
So, like I just mentioned with Pirates, I would say Pirates is up there. I think Pirates is a very classic themed ride.
Mm-hmm.
Fun story. We were there, and someone walked by, and they were like, "What's Pirates?" And I was like, looked at them like, "What's Pirates?" Like, how do you not know it? And someone explained to them, kind of like chuckled, like, "Just go on. It's just I can't just ride it." So I would say Pirates.
It's indescribable. Just
Yeah.
ride it.
Just ride it.
All right. Favorite modern attraction? You define modern. Modern? I can't talk all of a sudden. Sorry.
Rise is up there, like we talked about
Yeah,
earlier.
We
I think
kind of
Rise.
answered that already.
Yeah,
Didn't
that crushes
Yeah.
it.
we? All right. Favorite Disney resort?
I would say Grand Californian in California.
Great resort.
It's great. It's beautiful. You can walk right into the parks. I would say that.
It's
The price
fantastic.
point's a little high for me, to be honest, but
It's a thing.
For
You gotta
everybody.
sell a few
Yep.
more hats and then you're
Yeah.
fine.
just a few more. We'll get there.
Yeah. All right. Favorite counter service restaurant?
I'm going to default to one you mentioned earlier, and I'm just going to say ABC. But I can't remember. There's one also in shoot, I can't remember the name of it. Very similar vibe. They like do salads and pizzas, but it's more in the Disneyland side. But I'm going to say ABC just to keep it consistent with your
Okay.
questions.
All right. We like consistency, I think. All right. Favorite table service restaurant?
The Lamplighter in California Adventure. That
good.
is great. I almost died one time eating there, but I still went
Oh.
back. It was great.
How did
I
you
had-
almost die?
I had one of those drinks where like they put like the ice cube at the bottom that was like a it's like a I don't know what it's made out of. It's like it's not edible. It's like dry ice, and it's supposed to make
like
the
bubbles?
drink like bubble.
Okay. Yeah.
And so like I'm just drinking it like life's good, and straight up thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Like I think it got in there or something, and you're not supposed to have it.
No, that
And I was like, this isn't right. And like I had this immense pain, and I was like, something is not right. And
no.
used to work on an ambulance, so I was like, this isn't the right feeling,
No.
and this is a sign that something's wrong. And then all of a sudden, I just powered through, went away, and I stopped drinking it. But Disney still got me hooked. I went back. We still go back, and we just try different things now.
Love it.
So that's why my best friend Fizz can't fizz anymore
Yep.
at Ogus. They got rid of all the dry ice drinks at Disney World last year.
Yeah.
So you're
You're
clearly
the
not the
reason.
only one.
I'm so sorry, everybody
It's
out
all
there.
your fault. Yeah.
That
Well,
cantina's great though too. That's a
It
fun
is.
vibe.
It is. All right. All right. Where were we? Oh, favorite Disney snack.
Dole Whips.
Oh, Doug Point.
Excellent. We'll just put a tally on my column. All right.
Mm.
And then favorite Disney drink.
Not the one I just mentioned. I'm gonna exclude that from the running. I don't know. I've been to Pim's Kitchen, and they have it's like a honey whiskey.
Oh, it's so
Tequi-
good. I had
oh
that.
my gosh!
Yep.
It's like I don't even know what it's called, but like we
Mhm.
tried to duplicate the recipe at home. I'm like, how do you make these things? Never tasted the same, but man, they're freaking good, especially on a hot day. Oh, music
Yeah.
to my
Like,
lips.
that's a good place. I enjoyed
Mhm.
Pim's. All
Yeah.
right. Last question Disney bucket travel list item.
I don't know if this is true, but there's like a Disney trip you can take where you can like rent out like a private jet. Is
Yep.
this real?
Yeah,
It's a real thing.
$100,000.
Yeah,
You're
and they
with other
fly.
people, but yeah.
Yeah, and they fly you around to the different
Yep.
like.
Mhm.
It's like
If
17 days. Yeah.
I only need to sell like 20,000 more hats to even try to put a deposit down, but if I could ever pull that off, how fun would that be to be like, oh, we're just flying around, going to the Disney parks? That
Right.
would be a bucket list.
I
All the
listened
parks.
to DCL Duo. They had someone on
Yes.
their podcast who did it, and I was like, that was fascinating living vicariously through that.
Yeah,
And
so
that's
it's a
the
real
only
thing.
way.
It's a real thing. Yep.
Okay.
I'll be vicarious on that one.
That Doug and I will never do.
Never, no. But
Yep.
we, yeah.
Like if
Ma-
money wasn't an option, would you do
Oh.
it or?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
If
okay.
money wasn't an option, end of
Like,
story. There's so many things I would do.
Yeah.
It's also Adventures
I
by
wouldn't be doing this podcast for the record if money was no option. I'm probably
Disney.
at
You-
Disney World
Wait.
24/7.
So
Doug's
you only
crushed.
do this for the money?
No, I do it for the to keep me sane when I'm not at Disney.
Well, you would.
But if I
probably
had
need
all the money, I would
more
have
s-
property and celebration, and I'd be at Disney way too
and a
much.
recording studio.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, see, yeah, yeah, that's a real thing, and we really would like to go on it, but our sponsor
anyone
hasn't
would-
put us on it
If
yet.
if
so.
anyone would like to sponsor us and like,
Yeah.
hey, I want to take Derek and Doug with me, let us know. I'll chip in a few grand. Absolutely.
Dude, Adventures by Disney knows how to take care of you, and they do a good job with that. But
It's for research, podcast research. Isn't
That's
it a write-off?
right.
It's a write-off. guys.
It's a
all of it,
write-off.
It's a
all of it,
write-off business expense.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes the
The
lightning round.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Take a minute and tell people where they can find you.
Oh, I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. So we're on Instagram for following our social account. If you wouldn't mind checking that out, at Vacation Patches. And then you can visit our website, vacationpatches.com, and use that discount code and support not only this awesome podcast, but then check out some stuff. So yeah, vacationpatches.com and then Instagram at Vacation Patches. Vacation Patch Instagram page is great because we like to connect with folks. Like, yes, this is our business, but we also just love connecting with other folks that love Disney. We made a hat called Disney Broke Club, and like that's just who we are. Like that's where our money goes, and we love it. Just connecting. We've met so many wonderful people through this journey. So Instagram's a great way for us to just engage with people and connect. So we'd love to have you over there, get to know you too. So
Yeah, I like the Disney broke like shirt and hat and stuff. It's different than you see the people that wear the most expensive day ever shirt.
Oh, I
and
hate
one,
that
yeah.
shirt. Hate
that
it.
one annoys me.
yeah,
This is like I'm broke because I go to Disney in a good
Yeah.
way. Like
Yeah.
is a poking. People ask like, how do we go to Disney so much and that sort of stuff? Like, how do you? Well, we make poor financial decisions. That's part
Yeah.
of it.
It's called
That's-
credit card debt for a reason, guys.
Oh my gosh!
But I
So-
use a Disney credit card, so it pays it back. Makes
all
sense in
comes
my
back.
brain. It's called
It's
they say
Disney
girl math. It's Disney, math.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You just coined your own new phrase, Disney math.
Yep. So
Yeah,
there you go.
totally.
Well, thank you for playing this or that with us, listeners. If you want to play along, we'll have some of these online this week. And so go to Rope Drop Radio and all the things and let us know this or that. We have to get to the Patreon episode. If you'd like to support the show, we have a Patreon episode every single week afterwards. Go into the show notes, click Patreon, and subscribe. Also, if you want to book a trip to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise, Adventures by Disney, or you want to do that $100,000 Disney air trip thing, Touring Cruises would love to help you out. They are amazing travel specialists and can help you have an amazing vacation or an amazing trip. And so go into our show notes. We have a link to them as well. But that is all the time that we have. So for Stephen and Doug, I'm Derek. You've been listening to Rope Drop Radio.